I think a few of you have heard, but I went shopping yesterday. My friend Candice, who lives on the south side of Atlanta, decided that she wanted to come up here and visit a few shops on my side of town. Specifically, there was one that is up and coming that she has never been to, and she was excited to go see. So we made an entire day of it, and let me tell you, it was a day of it. We got up early because she had to drive from down there. I had to make sure Riley and Percy were all settled and everything. She got here about a little after 8:30, and we went to Chick-fil-A for breakfast because we needed to get some energy into our systems. And we headed up onto the roads to the sewingmachine.com store. Uh, it was just, she had never been there. She was kind of excited about the fact that they had all kinds of threads and stuff. When I got in there, I had some conversations with the lady there about, the machines that I have and the fact that they kind of need spa days. And I have now basically determined that they are going to get boarding while I am in Massachusetts in a couple months so that they can just, take the machines, have them for however long I'm going to be in Massachusetts. I've already forgotten that amount and number of days. And then I can pick them up afterwards, which is still making me try to figure out. I got to make sure I get them so that I can get all set back up before my lives after I get there. So we'll figure that out. Anyway, we're just talking and browsing, and she comes over and says, "Do you have a playbook for your Luminaire?" And I'm like, I don't even know what a playbook is. They had one left in stock, and this is the playbook. It's freaking huge. And in here, it has basically different types of projects that basically it tells you the skills that you can learn, and it has step by step every single button you press in order to get to do each one of these projects. So sometimes it's basically I can learn how to do everything the machine does that is outside of taking a pattern, throw it on the thumb drive, and putting in there and just stitching a regular embroidery pattern. There's also a what is that thing called? Thumb drive in the back that has videos of everything. So I'm pretty excited about this. The only thing that I've really done on my Luminaire is I have basically designed a quick label that I could put on the back of quilts, and I've also done a handful of freestanding lace and regular embroidery stuff. But getting to know all the other features that I have available in here, I'm a little excited about. So, and it was their last one because the Luminaire no longer is being made. They've upgraded it with another machine that'll look so pretty, but I don't know if I can justify upgrading it. After we had left the sewingmachine.com place, we went up to Coming to Threadbare, which is they have a ton of fabric, and it was very amusing because we weren't two steps into the shop, and Candice was like, "Ooh, I love this! I need this! I'm going to buy this." So, yeah, I was hoping to restrain myself because there was nothing that I needed this week except for to pay for something at one shop, and I'll get there in a minute, and buy one thing. And I had already broken that rule at sewingmachine.com. So at Threadbare, we're looking and we're browsing, and I see this panel. And I basically said, I have to have this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I have to have it. It's just amazing for this panel. And I have an idea of what I will be doing with it. So I bought some fabrics to go with it. Let me get folded back. I think I'm going to use this as a type of sashing with it. This, which came from the line, for some border. This for the backing because it's just gorgeous. And this for the binding. So I can just whoosh, whoosh, and whoosh. Basically all of this for the quilt. I'm very, very excited for this. And anybody who has been to Threadbare, there are 3 storefronts. They call one side Janet's side, one side Randy's side, because they're the ones who are traditionally working that each side. And then there's one side that they call now 700 because, or 7, because it's the 700 suite of the shopping plaza. So I left Janet's side and went to Randy's side, and I found these. This is a really fun Muppet print. I'm like, I can't let that one go. And because he is the best Muppet on Sesame Street, I got me some Oscar fabric. I think at some point I'm going to figure out how to make bags with those and have a lot of fun with that. Then we were told that there's some new fabric over at the 700 suite, and they also had kits. And I found this. The pattern is square box. It looks like it's a Villa Rosa design, and it's got all these pretty fabrics that are going to go with it. And it comes with everything. I'm very excited for this. Don't know when I'm going to start it. There's a lot of half square triangles in here, but I don't care. It's going to be fun. And then when somebody knows me too well, it gets to be dangerous. Because Janet, the shop owner, she comes over to me while I'm looking at these other kits and says, "You know we just got this in." And she's got this evil grin on her face. And I could not say no because she knows me. She knows that I would buy it. It is this. It is a really awesome looking kit. It says on the front that it includes the template that you need. So I'm excited. My guess is it's got like a triangle template. Let me see what kind. It is now mine. I can open it. What kind of template is in here? Open. Okay. So the pattern is called Cookie Cutter. And the template is this big giant thing. The super sidekick. So I'm guessing that it's what I'm going to be using to make some of these shapes. I don't quite know which shapes and how yet. That's really what the pattern is going to be. But it does say it needs the ruler in the pattern. So not sure when I'm going to start this one. It is definitely going to be put in the list because it is very much an awesome kit. And it's trying to be good. And they have some stuff set up at the register because you spend like 20 minutes just sitting there waiting for your stuff to be cut and getting your stuff cut. So they have stuff at the register. And I'm just looking around and I found this book 75 fun fat quarter quilts because we all have fat quarter bundles. It There's a lot of stuff that we have, so I'm like, this would be really nice to be able to come in here and say, what do I have? What can I make? And start to, eat into some of my fat quarter bundles that I need to, depending on how many fat quarters are some of these. So very excited about this. And, you know, because I had just bought this book, it's like I could buy a fat quarter if I wanted to, and I saw this one. And I think I've eyed this at least 3 times before. So, in my defense, I've looked at it before. This is from Timeless Treasures, and it's called Dragonfly. These are the colors. The front, it has these gorgeous dragonflies, and it has just all these different shades. And so, dragonflies. I I was drooling over this and said, I have to have it. So I have this. Hopefully, I will find a project in this book to go with it. And yeah, I can't say how much I ended up spending in there because I was in a little bit of sticker shock. In fact, I think it might even be more than any of my so yeah hangover invoices that I've ever gotten. We left there and we had lunch at a hibachi place that is up there. So good. We got seated with a table of a birthday, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, just watching the hibachi chef do his stuff. I joked that he was just showing off at one point. Got a couple, he's gonna turn on the fire. Da, 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 da. And after we left there, we headed over to Cottontail Quilts. That is one of the closer shops to me. Basically, we just did a big giant circle. And when I was there, I knew that I needed to pay for a bolt of fabric. I sent a message to the shop owner because she and I are, practically besties. That's what I'm going to say. And I said, hey, are you getting this fabric line? And whether or not you are, can I buy a bolt of the background? And she's informed me, sadly, she's not getting the entire line. In fact, she's not getting any of the line, I don't think. But she did order me a bolt of the background because it's very convenient for, a shop owner, buy a bolt and that. So I get a little bit of a discount by buying it by the bolt because, you don't have to store it in your shop and everything. And, it's a win-win situation. So my intent was just to go there and pay for the bolt and buy a can of 505 spray because I need to put a little bit of tackiness on the back of something. It didn't quite happen that way because they couldn't find the 505 spray. Their website says they had 10 in stock. Inventory says they have 10 in stock. Could not find a can of it anywhere. And I'm like, oh, well, it's not that big a deal. But I did buy 2 things while I was there, while I paid for the bolt. I bought this pattern, which looks like it is a lot of fun. It uses, third and half yards, half and 2/3 yards for a throw, which is probably what I would end up making. Um, and I was just like, this looks like it's a lot of fun. So I got this, and because I've been seeing so much of this around, I've seen all the 3-yard quilts, but they have their very first 5-yard quilt book. So I was like, I want to do this. So I bought it. These are the quilts that are in it, which they do look kind of fun. The fact that you have a couple more yards or a couple more cuts of fabric. I don't want to say yards, just a couple more cuts in order to make a quilt. gives you that little bit more variety. So I'm kind of excited to see what I can make out of here. We left Cottontail and went down to Tiny Stitches. And that's where it was like, okay, I don't need anything else. I have spent way too much money. And I see at Tiny Stitches that they had the 505 that I needed. And it wasn't just that they had the 505, they had it in a smaller can because I didn't need the big can that I think I would have gotten over at Cottontails. So I was excited about that. But Candice was trying to get me to tell her no. And if there's something that neither of us do is say no to each other. Apparently, she had been looking at the Barnstar quilt, and there's friends of mine who are doing it now, and she's been wanting to do and everything, and they have a kit at Tiny Stitches of the Barnstar, and yeah, it was a fully decked out kit. I forget how many yards of fabric was in it, if it even told, but it was basically everything you needed for the Barnstar quilt. A lot of fabric. It was heavy, and yeah, she's like, "Tell me no, Russ," and I'm like, "I think you need to get it. You've been wanting to do this. You want to." Da, 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 da. So she ended up spending that, and all I got was the 505 spray. And in my defense with Tiny Stitches, I am there all the time, so I usually get what I need. The other awesome thing is I did put my name in the wish book. They had I guess it's the shop pre-release of the next Tula Pink line, and like she had it was a large fat quarter bundle, and she was like, "Do you want to see it?" I was like, "Can I see it?" And she brings it up from downstairs because they haven't figured out what shop sample they want to make with it and all that. So she brings it up, and I'm like, "This is so pretty. It is gorgeous." It's a good thing that I know everybody there and they know where to hunt me down. Otherwise, I would have tried to convince them to sell it to me, or but I wouldn't really like it because I'm way too honest for that. But I'm in the wish book for that, so as soon as it comes in, I will be getting my fat quarter bundle of Tula's next line, which, like I said, it looks so gorgeous. And then finally, there's this new shop in town, and as we were leaving Tiny Stitches, we're like, well, is it open? Is it open? Um, their website, because like, they just opened Tuesday. Their website did not have hours or anything on it. It was pretty difficult, but once I finally got their Facebook pulled up and I saw that they were open until 6, I was like, okay, we'll go. Walked in. It was very pretty. It had, in the very front when you walk in, it had a lot of boutique gifts, which they're cute, but I'm like, I don't know how much I really want to do any of this. I get it's their whole shop aspect. Over on the side, they had like $8.50 like little bags of popcorn, and I'm like, I don't know if I can justify $8.50 for it was sweet chili popcorn, and I know that they're made in small batches and stuff, but it was a small bag. It's like something that you would pay like $1 for if you bought the mass produced Smart Foods stuff. I was like, I don't know if I can do that. They had gorgeous fabrics. They had like every color of the Riley Blake solids. They had grunge. They had a bunch of blenders. They had a few fabric lines in there. Just lots of gorgeous stuff. Had a chance to chit chat with the owner for a minute to say hi. I probably will be coming in here more often depending on what I need. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And then, we found some fun stuff. Uh, Found this card because, I know somebody who will be 50-ish soon. So, I had to get this card. And then they had stickers up by the register. And some of these I have, gifts for people. The first sticker says, "Drink some water, you beautiful and capable but dehydrated bitch." Because, there's some people who just can't remember to drink water. Uh, this one that says, "Embrace the glorious mess that you are." Uh, this one says, "I've got a good heart, but this mouth." We all know somebody like that. And then finally, this one, which is so very true: "Quilting is all fun and games until the bobbin runs out." So yeah, I spent a few dollars while I was out. My only intent was to pay for the bolt that I asked the shop to order, because if I'm gonna ask for a whole bolt, I'm gonna give you the money in advance. That way, you're not out shop money that can be going for another bolt of fabric. And then I bought, or I intended to buy the 505 stripe. Everything else you saw was basically impulse. And yeah, Candice is less help than David was at telling me no. And I have intents for everything that I purchased. The um, Wild Animals, I think that line is called. That's going to be a fun quilt to make. I already have a recipient in mind for that. The Muppets fabric, and the Oscar the Grouch fabric, I want to make bags with. So there's those. Um, okay, I don't have an intended recipient for the two kits that I bought, but I will. I will do them, and I will find somebody who will love them, even if that somebody might be me at some point. So yeah, just lots of fun, and nobody necessarily needs stickers in a card, but I got that. Um, so yeah, lots of fun. Thank you, Candice, for having fun out there. We just talked about everything while we were sitting in the car trying to get to the other place. We wanted to join our friend Steven's So Day. In fact, we had talked about it while we were at breakfast, and we just got talking about every other little thing that we just completely forgot that we wanted to join the soda. So sorry, Steven. We were going to join for a little bit and say hi, and we wouldn't have been able to show what we had purchased because everything was sitting in the trunk. But yeah, I'm excited for Candice with her Barnstar quilt. I'm excited for Candice with the other fabric bundles that she had purchased, because she did quite some damage at Threadbare as well. Not quite as much as me, but had I not bought the two kits, I think we would have been about even. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. My credit card needs a little bit of a break right now. Thank goodness I'm getting my bonus on Tuesday, so that will be able to just pay a little, or actually all of that back in that. So that is it for the haul. Like I said, it was a lot of fun. I'm not going to get to go shopping for until I'm up in Massachusetts. I am telling myself I'm not allowed to do any more shopping until Massachusetts, except for stuff I've already promised that I was going to buy, because there are stuff with that. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and an awesome week. Bye.